MC.
Down from the corner house, just down the blocks, there's a place we can hang out. Man, it really rocks. You can chill, you can spill, you can hang out, watch the thrill.
Okay, guys, we got some story time with kitties from the hammock hangout. Today, we're going to continue on with Aepyornis Island. We're on part 4. Let's get to it then. Alright, guys, when we left this thing off last time, the guy had shot one of the workers, and he dropped into the water, and he was screaming at the other guy, and he couldn't get him to come back, and so he was just realizing that he's stranded. So we'll pick it up there. There was nothing for it but to swim after him and take my luck with the sharks. So I opened my clasp knife, put it in my mouth, and took off my clothes and waded in. As soon as I was in the water, I lost sight of the canoe, but I aimed as I judged to head it off. I hoped the man in it was too bad to navigate it, and that it would keep on drifting in the same direction. Presently, it came up over the horizon again to the southwestward about. The afterglow of sunset was well over now, and the dim of night creeping up. The stars were coming through the blue. I swum like a champion, though my legs and arms were soon aching. However, I came up to him by the time the stars were fairly out. As it got darker, I began to see all manner of glowing things in the water. Phosphorescence, you know. At times, it made me giddy. I hardly knew which was stars and which was phosphorescence, and whether I was swimming on my head or my heels. The canoe was as black as sin, and the ripple under the bows like liquid fire. I was naturally chary of clambering up into it. I was anxious to see what he was up to first. He seemed to be lying cuddled up in a lump in the bows, and the stern was all out of water. The thing kept turning around slowly as it drifted, kind of waltzing, don't you know? I went to the stern and pulled it down, expecting him to wake up. Then I began to clamber in with my knife in my hand, and ready for a rush. But he never stirred. So there I sat, in the stern of the little canoe, drifting away over the calm, phosphorescent sea, and with all the host of the stars above me, waiting for something to happen. After a long time, I called him by name, but he never answered. I was too tired to take any risks by going along to him, so we sat there. I fancy I dozed once or twice. When the dawn came, I saw he was dead as a doornail, and I puffed up and purple, and all puffed up and purple. My 3 eggs and the bones were lying in the middle of the canoe, and the keg of water and some coffee and biscuits wrapped in a Cape Argus by his feet, and a tin of methylated spirit underneath him. There was no paddle, nor, in fact, anything except the spirit tin that I could use as one. So I settled to drift until I was picked up. I held an inquest on him, brought in a verdict against some snake, scorpion, or centipede unknown, and sent him overboard. After that, I had a drink of water and a few biscuits, and I took a look around. I suppose a man low down as I was don't see very far. Leastways, Madagascar was clean out of sight, and any trace of land at all I saw I saw a sail going southwestward. Looked like a schooner, but her hull never came up. Presently, the sun got high in the sky and began to beat down upon me. Lord, it pretty near made my brains boil. I tried dipping my head in the sea, but after a while my eye fell on the Cape Argus, and I lay down flat in the canoe and spread this over me. What? I tried dipping my head, okay, but after a while my eye fell upon the Cape Argus, and I lay down flat in the canoe and spread this over me. Wonderful things, these newspapers. I never read one, though, thoroughly before. But it's odd what you get up to when you're alone, as I was. I suppose I read that blessed old Cape Argus 20 times. The pitch in the canoe simply reeked with the heat and rose up into big blisters. I drifted 10 days, said the man with the scar. It's a little thing in the telling, isn't it? Every day was like the last, except in the morning and the evening. I never kept a lookout. Even the blaze was so infernal, I didn't see a sail after the first 3 days. And those I saw took no notice of me. About the 6th night, a ship went by scarcely a half a mile away from me, with all its lights ablaze and its ports open, looking like a big firefly. There was music aboard. I stood up and shouted and screamed at it. The second day, I broached one of the Aepyornis eggs, scraped the shell away at the end, bit by bit, and tried it, and I was glad to find it was good enough to eat. A bit flavory, not bad, but with something of a taste of a duck's egg. There was a kind of circular patch about 6 inches across on one side of the yolk, with streaks of blood and a white mark like a ladder in it that I thought queer, but I did not understand what this meant at the time, and it wasn't inclined to be particular. The egg lasted me 3 days, with biscuits and a drink of water. I chewed coffee berries, too. Invigorating stuff. The second egg I opened about the 8th day, and it scared me. The man with the scar paused. Yes, he said, developing. I dare say you find it hard to believe. I did, with the thing before me. There, the egg had been sunk in that cold black mud, perhaps 300 years. But there was no mistaking it. There was the, embryo, with its big head and curved back, and its heart beating under its throat, and the yolk shriveled up, and the great membrane spreading inside of the shell, and all over the yolk. Here I was hatching out the eggs of the biggest of all extinct birds in a little canoe in the midst of the Indian Ocean. If old Dawson had known that, it was worth 4 years' salary. What do you think? However, I had to eat the precious thing up, every bit of it, before I sighted the reef, and some of the mouthfuls were beastly unpleasant. Okay, let's just leave it right there, and we'll just pick it up next time. Thanks for coming along, guys. See. All right, let's leave it for big old Rosie. You do your thing, Rosie. Take us out. Oh, that makes me feel good right there.